The 2-1. Lindor towards right center field. This one is back. It is gone! Grand slam! And Lindor puts the Mets on top. The biggest swing of the season for New York.
3-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Towns from 3. It's gone! Carl Anthony Towns with the dagger. 3-point field goal.
Knicks regain their composure. Towns, deep 3-ball with the switch.
What is up, Knick Nation? What is up? It is your boy David from Top Bunk Sports, and I'm here with another Knicks video. And as you guys saw, for those of you tuning in, the New York Knicks defeat the Miami Heat 116-95, a blowout. Knicks came in here down 12-0. I mean, it looked like this team, it was going to be one of those games where, you know, we've beaten the Heat all year, and then this game they come back from that West Coast road trip. The excuses were gonna come in. They were jet lagged. They didn't, we didn't know what this was looking like, but it was looking horrible. They were down 12-0 at one point. They couldn't get a shot going. The Heat were just quicker than them, running everything in transition, getting everything on both ends. So it looked like it was gonna be one of those horrible nights. But then it goes to a point where Mikal Bridges scores, right? Then it's 12-3. The Knicks start creeping in little by little in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden in the second quarter, here comes Karl Anthony Towns on a 15-0 consecutive run. That entire run was just Karl Anthony Towns. Got us back in the game. We down by one at some point. We're down by one, 31-30. All of a sudden, he gets a 3-ball to go through, gives us the lead, and the Knicks did not look back. Now, obviously, it was back and forth for the most part after that. But in terms of the momentum, once Kat went on that run, the momentum just picked up. And when it picked up, the Knicks were playing faster. The Knicks were getting steals. The Knicks turned up their defensive, their mobility on defense. Everything went straight for the Knicks. Let's look at some key stats tonight. We obviously have a lot to talk about when it comes to this team because defense was the key tonight. And then on top of that, everybody, it wasn't just like it was one man today. Everybody got touches and everybody contribute. Josh Hart, who last game against the Golden State Warriors had 0 points. He was 0 for 7 from the field. Josh Hart made it known today that he was going to come play basketball. So we got Mikal Bridges, 20 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 10 of 14 from the field, 1 steal, 4 of 6 from 3. He was perfect from the free throw line today. 3 turnovers, but that cleans itself up. I mean, he showed out today. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, 10 of 17 from the field, 1 block, 3 of 5 from 3. He didn't go to the line today. That was a bit shocking. He didn't go to the line today, so that's again a bit shocking. 3 turnovers as well, but again it cleans up when he's playing the way he's playing. Josh Hart, 12 points, 11 assists, 13 rebounds, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 block, 4 steals, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 turnovers. But like to see the fact that Josh Hart isn't on the funk. Josh Hart at one point, I think he had missed his first 3 shots, and when he missed his first 3 shots, Knick fans, I already saw the timeline on my phone. Knick fans were already panicking; they didn't know what was going to happen. So you have that. I would look at OG Anunoby. Really didn't have a sufficient game today. He was 9 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 3 of 13 from the field. He had 2 blocks and 1 steal, but he was cold from 3. So it really wasn't an efficient game from OG Anunoby. Deuce McBride as well. As he's been playing, this was kind of a cold game for him today. 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 steals, right? And he made 2 threes today. But that was it. That was pretty much it. Mitchell Robinson, shout out to Mitch today, who showed up. Who showed up? The different spurts on the floor. He showed up today. 10 points, 1 assist, 9 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. So shout out to Mitch for that. Landry Shamet, of course, Landry, puts his input on the game as well. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 steals, and 3 of 6 from 3. So overall, the Knicks played a very, very sufficient game. Let's look at some team stats. And what I like about this game, too, is that, again, everybody was sharing the ball. This wasn't just a one-man performance. If you watch the game, ball movement was sufficient. Everybody was getting the rock. The ball was moving everywhere, like I said before. So it's a sufficient game today from the New York Knicks. In terms of team stats, the Knicks shot 49% from the field. They shot 47% from 3. They made 100% of their free throws, 6 of 6. They had 30 assists. They had 41 total rebounds. They had 21 fast break points. They had 12 steals. They had 6 blocks. They had 13 offensive rebounds, 28 defensive rebounds, and they had 29 to Miami's 15 points off of turnovers. So again, when the Knicks capitalized on getting steals and putting the pressure on defense, once they were able to do their job on defense, they looked to push the pace and just score. And again, the Knicks don't run. The Knicks don't run in transition a lot. That's one thing that if you watch the way we play, we don't run in transition a lot. So for the Knicks to come in this game and really go ahead and push the pace, it's showing what type of timing they're on right now. And I'm sure that a lot of it had to do with the fact that the way they played in Golden State, they didn't play. I wouldn't say they played horrible. They didn't play bad at all. And that's my thing when it comes to how you compare this game, you compare the game that they played on Saturday against Golden State. They didn't play horrible. Just they couldn't execute on offense because their defense wasn't bad. The last, I would say, 3 games, their defense has been good, but they couldn't close on offense. And when they couldn't make shots in the fourth quarter to close it, right? The Warriors capitalized on that. And it also doesn't help that we were getting killed in pick and roll situation with Stephen Curry. So that kind of destroyed it. But you needed performances like Kat. You needed performances like a Draymond. Excuse me, not a Draymond. What am I talking about? Like a Karl Anthony Towns, who again are guys that are gonna really, when your cap is down, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna push some momentum. You're gonna lead this team, and then you know what? At the end of the day, that's what needs to be done. That's what needs to be done. And again, I'm proud that I can say that Mikal Bridges played a factor in this game because for so much inconsistency that he has shown, he's finally showing some. He's finally showing some consistency now, and I'm glad that it's now and that he was able. And that he's finally trying to get him, or not even try. He's getting a momentum going, uh, where it's at the right time because we're in March. And like I said in my previous video, for those of you that didn't watch, in my previous video, I said I'm glad that Mikal Bridges is finding his call. I wouldn't say calling card, but his groove now because that can what he's doing at the end of the season can definitely push him into the playoffs where he can find some momentum. So, glad that Mikal is one of the I have him as my player of the game. I have him and Karl Anthony Towns as my player of the game. I think notable mentions would be Josh Hart, in my opinion, just because he was able to, rack up that triple-double, 8th of the year. He's tied for I think the most in the season, or he's tied in the list of Knicks franchise with triple doubles. He's tied with Walt Clyde Frazier. So Josh Hart is in the history books and franchise history records. So shout out to Josh Hart for that one. Yeah, man. That's at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. You had an aggressive Karl Anthony Towns doing what he does. I know people want to talk about the fact that he's soft and he's not the player that people think he is. Listen, at the end of the day, if I'm getting a Karl Anthony Towns that's confident shooting the ball, if I'm getting a Karl Anthony Towns that's willing to drive to the rack and try to get me some points in the paint, so be it. So be it. I'd much rather that than Karl Anthony Towns trying to be Stephen Curry the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns because you needed that. You needed that. Even though you played well against Golden State on Saturday, you needed that for everything that was being said about you in terms of you being soft and how you didn't do nothing to Draymond. Sometimes players don't want to take that fine. Sometimes players don't want to get that suspension. They just want to be here for their teammates because they know, listen, we're almost done with the year. We're almost done with this season. By the time we get into April, we're going into the playoffs. That's what matters to me. I ain't gonna see Draymond unless we face each other in the finals. So again, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, man. Again, I know little by little he's going through it with that death that he had in the family. Little by little he overcomes that, and I'm sure basketball, him being on the court, him being with his teammates, plays a factor in that. So shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, man. We're really missing Jalen Brunson. We're really missing the captain and what he's able to provide on offense. But if the Knicks can take this opportunity to be like, listen, Brunson runs everything. He's not here right now. This is an opportunity for guys to get more touches than they usually get when Brunson's in the starting lineup or when Brunson's in the court. If they can have Deuce McBride come into that starting point guard role and really do what he's been doing in terms of pushing the momentum and pushing the offense and setting everybody up and leading the way, we already know the confidence of Deuce McBride is there. But him being the floor general now while our actual captain is out, that's key because now it's like, all right, this is what we can get from Deuce McBride in the playoffs, and I'm not questioning it. What we're seeing him do as a starting point guard, I can't wait to see what he does when he gets to the playoffs, even if that's coming off the bench. If you're the starting point, if you're the point guard for our second unit, why not? You know what I'm saying? At least we know what you're doing and what you're capable of. So again, I think overall I wouldn't say like a relief that the Knicks play like this, but I'm glad after the way that West Coast trip ended, and they ended on a 2-3 record, but I would say winnable games should have been mind you, all 5 games they won 2, right? They won 2. Sacramento and Portland, but the game against Los Angeles and the game against Golden State, they were winnables, man. We weren't getting blown out. They were all winnables. We just couldn't figure out a way to close in those games. And when you can't close and you're missing shots at the most crunch time part of the game, teams are going to look at that and teams are going to just run, capitalize on the fact that they're not making shots. And that's what they did. That's what they did. So 2-3 coming out this record. I mean, coming out this road trip, and then you come here, you take care of Miami, who you've taken care of all year. They haven't beat you. You've dominated like that. That's what you need. And now you go back on the road for 2. If I am not mistaken, I believe. Do not quote. I'm checking right now. They're off tomorrow, and then they play Wednesday at San Antonio, and they play Thursday in Charlotte. Then they're off on Friday. Then they play Saturday against the Washington Wizards. So these 5 games, and these 5 games alone, the Knicks should be 2, 3, 4-0. And then they have 2 more games at home and on a back-to-back. And then they have a game away against the Milwaukee Bucks, which I think is gonna be a good one. I think we could beat them. And then we got the Portland Trailblazers here in the Garden. So if in my opinion, I think it should be. Let me see. We're already 1-0. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. I would say 5-2. The Clippers we could maybe beat if we don't beat the Bucks, because the Bucks are actually playing really good basketball right now. If we don't beat the Bucks, I say 5-2 because the Clippers are a really good team, and we just couldn't seem to really close out. Again, it was kind of the same issue that we had in Golden State. But if we can beat the Clippers and we could beat the Bucks, you're talking about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0 series. Serious. Yeah, 7-0. 7-0. So, and then you're ending March like that. You're going into April where you only have to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games. And for April, it's the 76ers on April 1st. Then you're playing Cleveland. You're going back to Cleveland. You're playing Cleveland April 2nd. By then, they should already have secured the 3 seed. Then you're off 2 days. You play Atlanta Hawks on Saturday at Atlanta. And then you play the Phoenix Suns at home on a back-to-back. You're off on Monday. You play Boston Celtics here at home on April 8th. You're off on April 9th. Then you have a back-to-back. You got Detroit, and then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then your final game is on a Sunday, which is April 13th. You got the Brooklyn Nets. So ways to navigate that. The schedule kind of gets a little slower now, a little bit easier. So play much better basketball. If Jalen Brunson doesn't come back, which I hope not, I hope he stays healthy and just come in for game 1 of the playoffs, man. Stay as healthy as you can, because we absolutely need 100%, not a 50%, not a 70%. We need 100% Jalen Brunson. So we'll see what Thibodeau provides us and what these Knicks insider provide us in terms of his situation and how he's recuperating from that minor ankle injury that he suffered in LA. But other than that, the Knicks cooked the Miami Heat 116-95. Your 2 best players in this game were Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns. The Knicks now head to The Knicks now head to San Antonio to take on a tanking San Antonio Spurs team, and that should be an automatic win. But until then, I will catch you guys later. Just a small sample size of the post game, kind of giving a little bit of what they did, some stats, some team stats, and what's ahead of them now that they were able to at least come home to some refreshing home court, take care of business against the Miami Heat like they've done all year, and then go back on the road before they come back home. Schedule is conflicting. It absolutely sucks. I really feel bad for these guys, but that's what it is. So with that being said, I am your host, David. Make sure you please like, follow, share, and subscribe to all of Top Bunk Sports social media outlets. And please continue to push and push and push, and just follow the page and share it out, man. I really do appreciate the love and support. But like I said before, my name is David. You're watching another Knicks video from Top Bunk Sports, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.